How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Wish stock. I know you guys were looking at it today inside of the market. It had quite the run. But you know what? We're going to be talking about it a bit further. So before I get started, of course, we got to go over the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to be going over is the technical analysis. We want to know support, we want to know resistance, and what is the chart really looking like for Wish. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership by looking at the filings, and also on top of that, seeing the short interest information to see if Wish continues to have short squeeze potential and what is the history looking like for the short volume. Then we're going to move on to taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know, did institutions load up on shares of Wish today? Because if they did, this can have an impact on the overall stock price. And then when all of that is done, I'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for Wish. Let's see how it performed on the day. So ended up closing at $7.12, being up 6.43%. On the low, it tested $6.63, and then on the high, testing $7.43. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 68.159 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 68.843 million shares. So almost right around the same there, and we saw a lot of momentum as we got to the later parts of the day, which was good to see. So now when we take a look at our chart, we're going to be taking a look at the RSI down below. It is right around 53.27. Now, as far as what we were expecting and wanting to see from Wish is being able to get back and hold up support at this $7 level. So even at the close for tomorrow, this is an area you're preferably going to want to have so it remains bullish. The moment it falls below 7, then you have this downside risk here. But one of the things we have to pay attention to, though, with the momentum that we had in earlier parts of the day, we ended up getting to a high of $7.43. So I would want to look forward to seeing us actually retest this area going into tomorrow. If we are able to do this, then the move that I'll be looking out for will see it get to around $7.60. And if we can push through that, the next level will be $7.82. And as you can see right here, we have this big time gap that we need to fill out here. So that's why I'm saying if we get to this mid $7.80 area, so Wish can really start taking off. So that's why I want to make sure you keep this stock on your watch list because it can move very quickly, especially if you notice a lot of other meme type stocks that are moving as well, which benefited from this in the past. So that's just one thing I want to make sure you keep on your radar. But for the most part, things did look good for today, and I would love to see this be a continuation of tomorrow. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information for Wish. So scrolling down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So we could see here for August the 23rd, which was yesterday, we had Morgan Stanley with a filing of 1.8 million shares. So this is fairly substantial here and something to definitely keep an eye on here. We also have Bluefin Capital Management, and this was on the 18th, which was the last week of Friday. Last week Friday, right? So it was around 145,300 shares. And now when I take a look at the dates now, the 20th was actually on Friday, so the 18th, as far as for the filing is concerned, had to be on the Wednesday. So now when we take a look at the short interest information, scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 8.6 million, updated 23 minutes ago. And for the short ball free rate, it is at 0.87%. Now, when we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of the 20th, which was last week Friday, was at 24.48, and now for the close yesterday, it was at 21.34. This is obviously no surprise whatsoever due to the fact Wish has been beaten down quite a bit. So many are going to be looking at it and say, well, you know what, there's not too much more of a downside for Wish, so I'm not going to be shorting it as heavy. So with that said, that just shows as far as for the market sentiment and where the stock price actually is, it's actually lining up. So now we want to see, hey, Wish just continue to make the move that it's making and see a further move to the upside. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Wish. So we can see here on the inflow, it's at 104, and then on the outflow, it's at 105. We have 0 on the large for both. On the medium, we have 76.82, and then on the small, we have 26.72. On the outflow side, on the medium, we have 78.38, and on the small, we have 26.58. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for the 24th we had 0, which was for today, and then as far as for the 4 other prior days have all been outflow days for Wish. So like I said, we know the stock has been beaten down quite a bit already, so seeing all those prior outflow days should be of no shock to you due to the fact the way how the stock has been performing. But what this means is I'm going to be keeping an eye on it going into tomorrow, because I can see institutions wanting to load up, especially if they see that this stock can definitely start moving over the next couple days. So now let's jump into the final thoughts. So for my final thoughts for Wish, when we went on Fintel, one of the things that was great to see is that the short interest has been going down, and part of the reasons being is because the stock has been beaten down so much. So what this means, shorts are covering their positions and they're saying, well, you know what, it's been beaten down so much to the point where I don't see any more profit potential here. So this is good, but if it does decide to continue running up due to the fact it's on its rally and it is categorized as a meme stock, then I wouldn't be surprised if they start coming right back in again saying, well, you know what, this is only going to last for a certain period of time, so we're going to pounce on it. So I want you to make sure you understand that. So this play is going to continue to have a lot of volatility. When we took a look at the order flows, we could see institutions have done a lot of selling, but at the same time, if you were able to catch it at the bottom when it was trading into that $6 range, you would have had the opportunity to ride this run up all the way through. I know many inside of the private Discord had the opportunity to do this because we were saying, man, Wish should not be that low of a price, and a lot of us ended up taking some profits today on the stock as well. For yourself, make sure you have a strategy that is in place, especially if you see the stock running up the way it's running up. The last thing that you want to do is see it run up so much and then you say, well, you know what, I'm holding, and then it comes back down and you're like, man, I should have sold. There's many of you that do that, but if you believe inside the long-term prospects of Wish, then of course it's in your best interest to hold and average down when you get those opportunities so you can ride that run up depending on how long you want to hold the stock and if you see potential returns in it. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.